Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Yo. Welcome back. Welcome back to No Cap Space. Tyler here. Shaunie has boots on the ground in Charlotte after what was an absolutely insane ending. She is currently in the press conferences right now as we speak, getting you everything you need to know. But she will be joining us here on the post-game show, and we have a lot to talk about from that game. Again, boots on the ground in Charlotte right now. Shaunie will be joining here. But first off, a word from our friends at Home Field, where you can get stuff like this incredible hoodie, pullover, whatever you want to call it here. 50% off at the link in the description below at the No Cap Space collection using code NOCAP15. Again, as always, a super chat gets you here on stage. You can become a member to join the No Cap Space Discord as well. We were talking about this game as it went down. But folks, if you have been a No Cap Space subscriber, today has come and gone, and you are not surprised by what you have seen. We interviewed Jazzy Davidson back at Overtime Select. We got the chance to sit with her, talk with her. And it wasn't a surprise to see what had happened today. And what had happened today was an arrival. An arrival. That second half from Jazzy Davidson, we'll talk about the game as a whole, but we just got to focus in on that second half. That third quarter especially, buddy. It's different than Juju Watkins. And look, that is a ridiculously high standard to try and go and meet. It's different than the way Juju Watkins has gotten it done. But in this game, we saw her get it done. We saw Jazzy Davidson show up as the number one recruit in the nation and get it done, obviously, with the game winner at the end. Not, your kind of stereotypical, like, pulling up over a defender, like, in that way. No, just making the right play, running the play correctly. Shout out to Lindsey Gottlieb on the clipboard. Just absolutely slipping through the defense, getting the lay, which ends up being the go-ahead basket that after a couple more twists and turns on the free throw line ends up being the game winner in this. Look, the way there was that third quarter, the beginning of it, she goes, I believe it was 3 for 3, notably attacking the rim. And I said, hold on now. hold on, because this is what it's starting to look like. There was a lot of settling in the first half across the board for both teams. I'm going to talk about NC State's process as well. I'm confused would be the word I would use for it. Look, this was a game that I did not know how USC was going to be able to hold their own against the bigs of NC State. And I thought that the perimeter defense helped a lot with that. And the swipes. This is something that we've seen from USC in years past as well. We saw it last year, notably in those Battle of LAs, where it was Juju Watkins being the one kind of swiping down on the bigs. And we saw it against Lauren Betts and that. And obviously, Juju. But I was actually very surprised. Maybe not surprised. Surprised probably wasn't the right word. I was impressed by Jazzy Davidson's defense and the activity that she had. Because she's long as hell. Like, she is disruptive on defense. And you have a player like Kennedy Smith that is going to be able to do that, right? That is her bread and butter there. And she did that again today. Malia Samuels, I thought as well, was able to be disruptive on defense. That is where USC is going to make their money on the defensive end. They don't have that rim protecting, just absolutely game stopper in that way. But on the perimeter, they have some players that are just so willing and wanting to be disruptive. And now you add, again, you had Juju Watkins in that, who was a pretty high risk taker on defense, but certainly was capable of being that disruptive type of player. You now obviously lose that, but Jazzy Davidson is able to come in and do a lot of very similar things in my eyes in terms of just being disruptive. That is the biggest thing here, is being disruptive on the perimeter, because they made NC State's life difficult. Certainly players had good games, notably Zoe Brooks, right? You didn't stop everyone, but you made life so difficult. So difficult. But ultimately, the story of this game is obvious. It's Jazzy Davidson. And I think Juju is such a unique case, and the comparisons are going to be there all season. Like, there's no running from it. There's no way around it. That is immediately what everyone's mind is going to go to when you see a number one recruit be the focal point of a USC offense, and especially when they're showing Juju Watkins celebrating every time that she's on the bench. That is going to be the comparison. It's going to be, and even with that, she impressed. Even with that, she impressed. It's different. It's not the same. It took a little bit of time to get going, but she did. And she did exactly what USC needed to pick up this upset win in Charlotte against NC State. Obviously, the other player that really shined offensively, especially for USC, was London Jones. And goodness, London Jones to me is like London Jones. How do I put this? It's one of those like basketball players, and I don't feel like we always see this as much on the women's side as you do like in the NBA. But like, you guys are some of those like guards that, man, when they're on, and like it is so much fun to watch, but when they're off, goodness, it can be frustrating, right? London Jones fits that mold for me, but for a majority of the game today, she was on. And when she was on, and they just kind of kept going under the screens, not a great idea from NC State. Wouldn't do that. But once she was on, she was 6 of 14, 4-9 from 3 for 19 points in this game. Like, that is exactly what you're hoping to get from her. Obviously, transferring from UCLA to USC, that is in the mold of, hey, we are bringing you to do this. If you could describe a game, a lot of it would be in this performance. So London Jones stepped up as well. And this was a weird game as well, because obviously Dunn, coming from Georgia Tech, has the foul trouble as well. So you're not really getting that kind of, that's who you're kind of expecting to be the other scorer here, right? Kennedy Smith ends up with 10, but didn't really kind of take there's a long season to go, and I'm hoping and to a degree expecting an offensive step from Kennedy Smith, right? And we didn't fully see that in this game. 5 of 16 was a bit of a struggle there. So to have London Jones, I say all that to say, to have London Jones be that player next to Jazzy that is able to go and produce in this game was so incredibly vital. And I don't know how to project this USC team. I really don't. A lot of it's going to come down to Jazzy saving. Like, there was a couple runs that NC State went on when Jazzy Davidson was off the court where it was looking shaky. And it is ultimately, to me, going to come down to how good can Jazzy Davidson be, for how long, and how consistently. That is going to be how this story of this USC season, I feel like, is going to be written. But man, for obviously this is game number 2, but for the first real test that USC faced, the way that she showed up in that second half cannot be understated. I mentioned the defense, but dude, this is her stat line in total: 21 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 5 blocks. That's not light. Like, that's that's not light. That's not light. To be able to have that on the defense side of the ball is not something to scoff at. It's just simply not. And I'm not surprised by this. Like, obviously, you're the number one recruit in the nation. We've gotten to see her play through Overtime Select. We got to interview her here on the channel. Like, I'm not surprised by that, but to see it happen, to see it on like the first kind of big stage, and to see it, and especially for me after struggling in the first half, I was so incredibly impressed by Jazzy Davidson. We got our first super chat here of the day, Joe, with the 2. Thank you, Joe. USC finds some balance, then they're cooking 100%. That's the biggest thing. That is still, even after this win, my biggest worry is just like, how do you find production down low, right? And how do you rebounding battles, all of those type of things. Like, my worry is still at the 4 and the 5, because the wing positions are set. Jazzy and Kennedy, I trust. Your point guard position, this is obviously not Dunn's best game. London Jones can do this, what you saw today, right? So I have more faith in that than I certainly do the bigs. And again, I don't know if balance is on this roster, to put it frank, but as we saw today, there's enough talent in other spots to make up for it. And I'm USC is going to end up being, I think, probably one of my favorite storylines to watch over the course of this season because I don't know. And that is fun, especially when you have a talent like Jazzy Davidson in the midst of the I don't know what we're getting here in terms of what the actual win-loss record is going to look like over the course of the season. That's exciting. I will be tapped in. I will be tuned in. I mean, goodness, what a game, what a performance from Jazzy. I believe as we speak right now, USC is going first in the press conference, and Shaunie is going to be having that here on the YouTube to upload and then hopping on here on the live. So we will have that, all the coverage, boots on the ground from Ally tip-off in Charlotte. We will have that for you here. Let's talk NC State. I left the Tennessee game feeling good about NC State. I did. I was, speaking of balance, was very impressed by it from them. Today, especially in that first half, and it didn't really get a lot better in the second half. Not very fluid. Not great, frankly. Like, just not great. And obviously, when you play against Tennessee, you are in a lot of ways playing their style, and in a lot of ways, I think NC State was playing fast paced that entire game because I mean that is what Tennessee, especially if you give into it, which NC State was pretty comfortable doing. That's what you're going to be doing. And when they played fast today, they played well. But sometimes in the half court, we were talking about in the Discord chat, like getting Camille Pierre maybe a little bit more involved with the actions as a screener, things of that nature. Like there was just times where it felt like there should have been a dominance down low. Again, I'm talking about how I don't trust the bigs for USC, and yet here they are holding Camille Pierre and Tilda Trigger to 18 points combined. Like, that's not the game plan here. And when you have Pierre and Tilda, like they're just like on the perimeter, and I don't mean to oversimplify this, but like, go use your advantage in the paint. Like, Camille struggled today, frankly. Like, there was a lot of shots that, just generally speaking, I think Camille Pierre makes. Whether it be cutting off the offensive rebounds or whatever it might be. Like, there was a lot of shots that I think normally Camille Pierre gets. Today they weren't falling. She still ends up with 18 rebounds, but notably goes 4-16, right? And that's not Camille Pierre. Like that, you're expecting a higher level of efficiency from there, and I think she would say the same in a whole lot of ways. But I say that to say, would it be Camille? Would it be Tilda? Like, you just weren't getting the looks down low with the ease, and some of that has to do with USC 100%. Again, I think the way that they were able to disrupt was incredibly, incredibly important. But NC State wasn't exactly making it difficult. And again, you have a great game from Zoe Brooks, who was on triple-double watch. 24 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, 10 and 20 from the field, 6 turnovers, which, not great. But I just, as impressed as I have been with Zoe Brooks in these first couple of games, and you also had Zan Jones in foul trouble, which is absolutely notable within the fluidity of the offense and whatnot. I don't know. It was just very different seeing them in a primarily half court game compared to Tennessee, where they were running up and down a lot. And I still am pretty confident in their chances. This doesn't shake my idea of like where they stand really in the ACC or anything like that. But it wasn't as smooth sailing, I guess, as I had anticipated. Again, especially for the bigs, frankly. If you told me that they lost this game, I would have expected it to be more the reverse, where the bigs did their thing and the guards on the outside got shut down by USC's defense. Not the reverse. So I'm relatively shocked by that, frankly. And again, as we saw, and I had said on the post-game show then, I liked the balance that I had seen from NC State, and I thought that they were working stuff in really solid. But I I wasn't very moved by the fluidity offensively today. And ultimately they lose this game because of it. I see in the chat right there. Turnovers and missing layups, 100%. You look at the turnover margin here. 18 turnovers for NC State compared to 7 for USC. That'll do it. That'll do it in a whole lot of ways. And I, again, just not the confidence that I had in NC State after the Tennessee game, not as high today. Again, we are waiting on Shaunie to get in from the press conferences. I said I believe USC is going first, and then we will have her on here. Also, notably, speaking of Tennessee today, just to get on a quick tangent as we wait for Shaunie, they played UT Martin today, and we're in an absolute dogfight. Like, legit. Like, they win this game 72-61, but it was like a late game. Like they kind of pulled away towards the end. This game was close. This game was legitimately close, and this was a game where they had, speaking of turnovers, 22 turnovers. Now they forced UT Martin to turn the ball over 23 times. But on a day that, generally speaking, across the board, outside of this USC NC State game, for the ranked teams, not too many like real tough matchups, you know. And to see Tennessee be that close is not not ideal by any means. But you know what is ideal? Having Shaunie join with boots on the ground from Charlotte. Look, I just gave my whole spiel about really both sides of this game, USC and NC State, Shaunie. I'll have you just first off, Juju Watkins bench mob. I'm here for it.
I need that to be like a separate feature. Whatever streaming service is going to give me Juju Watkins bench footage, bench cam, I'll subscribe. I need it. I need it. Because I'm just like, you don't do this when you're playing. So it's like she's
incredibly nonchalant on the court, generally speaking. And
she might be worse than Caitlin, bros. Because I was just like, okay, like she's very up. Like she wasn't in the rest phase, so okay, maybe not as bad as Caitlin in that regard. But she was complaining about calls. She was, hyping the team up. She's limber. So she's recovering well. She's moving pretty well so far.
Good.
But Juju bench mob is elite content. We had a couple of the
clips on social media. That's why you gotta be tapped in across the board, because Shaunie was, again, boots on the ground in Charlotte at Ally Tip-Off. And Shaunie, I'll just kind of throw it to you generally here to start off with the USC side of things, and most notably the Jazzy Davidson side of things here. This is the second half pop off that we got, ultimately the game winner as well. Obviously, I mean, we can't, I was just talking about it here. The comparison, right? You're a number one recruit at USC. Juju Watkins right there on that bench. Like, the comparisons here are going to happen all season. Like, you're not running from it. And it's different. It's not Juju's game. It's a different game. But in a lot of ways, especially in that second half, I thought she showed up today and kind of announced herself in a manner that, I mean, again, a number one recruit should, to a degree. What do you think?
And I think she has the added advantage of having the comparisons without the expectations, right? Because Juju comes in and it's like, nah, this is Sierra Canyon's the best Sierra Canyon has to offer. And then they kind of played like it. Like, it was, Juju, save us. Yeah. Save us, Judea, please. And you saw that kind of throughout her freshman season, and then she did save them. Yeah. So it's like she was able to do that, but like I feel like Jazzy doesn't have that kind of pressure on her, and that's working to her benefit. So where she can kind of get comfortable, like she struggled first half, and then was able to get comfortable in that second half, and the game slows down for her. And it's like games like these are going to pay dividends, because like I asked in the post game, which we'll have up on our YouTube channel, so you should subscribe. Like you're going to see it. But like I asked in the post game, like what did this kind of show you? Because NC State puts out pro guards year in and year out. This is her second game. Like, Sanaya Rivers is in the corner, yelling in your ear. This isn't, it's not March. obviously, but like this is a pretty big stage. Like Ally has put together a big tournament to create that atmosphere and create those type of environments. So shout out to them. But it's just like for your freshman player in her second game to get you a game winner like that against NC State, because we just saw what they look like against Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a decent team. And I feel like NC State didn't play as well as they did against Tennessee, but USC played better than I thought they were going to. Because especially they go down double digits. I'm kind of like, all right, I might be able to beat traffic. I don't know. Let's see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And sorry, I thought that was Georgia Amore. What are you doing here? I'm so sorry, family.
I saw your face. I was like, what is going on off screen? You could have given me a million guesses to guess who you thought was going to be there, and I would not have been like,
why is she here? Why is she here? Oh, no, but like, yeah, no, sorry. Again, pro guards be coming out of the conference, out of the tournaments, out of the, you see pro guard, because Iowa played Kentucky or Virginia. Or, no, yeah, the other year. So Georgia Amore is of the Ally tip-off family.
She wasn't there. She wasn't playing, but yeah, she was.
Yeah, in spirit of, But
the ghost of.
Hey, hold on now. We'll see in Vegas. That game's coming up. We gonna show y'all. But just back to USC. They need a post presence badly, so that's something that they're gonna have to really get on. Let me see. What was the rebounding? Rebounds 54 NC State, 40 SoCal. That's that, like, and that's glaring because I saw Camille Pierre get like 3 on one possession at one point, and it's like, oof. But you kind of knew they were gonna, Lindsay said that in the presser, like our front court's in the W right now, and I was like, flex, but like, yeah, void, flex, but void.
That's actually an incredible pivot. Yes. That's an incredible pivot.
That's exactly what I would do. Like, sorry, we're a little depleted right now. Everybody's in the W. Like, ooh, okay, I see you.
Yeah.
So it's like they're gonna have to do something for that front court. I felt like Tilda didn't really take advantage as much. Well, she had 11 rebounds, no blocks.
I was talking about that here earlier, where I was just like, it felt like whether they were even like just not in the paint, like they were kind of on the perimeter at times, or like it's just, if you told me USC was winning before this game, that USC was going to win this game, I would have expected the flip, where it's like, okay, the bigs dominated, but you really shut down the guards. Not the way that this kind of panned itself out in this manner.
And to me, that's kind of on the coaching, because it's like if you have Tilda and they don't, like, that's like having Liz Kitley like go in the paint, take advantage of their weakness, because they don't have anybody in the paint to really like. They was trying, God bless them, bless them, but no. So it's like for her to have 8 points and 11 rebounds, it's like, nah, she ain't a freshman no more. So it's like that could have been a point to exploit, and they just kind of still went with, we're gonna stay consistent to what we normally do, and it's like, should you? In certain circumstances, should you?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, but you know how I feel about Westmore.
Well, that's, I'm so surprised you didn't stay for his press conference. It
would have been like that George Bush presser.
Yeah, I mean, you're echoing a lot of the things that I had kind of my same sentiments, where it's just like we saw NC State in that Tennessee game, and it's a very different game because Tennessee, you play fast the entire time. And NC State was very comfortable doing that. And in this game, when they were able to kind of speed it up, they looked comfortable doing that. But when they got in the half court, the I don't know if it's like the order of operations, like how I thought maybe things would be ordered, where it's like, get the ball to Camille or Tilda and go from there, And I feel like it was kind of flipped to the perimeter first, which is obviously more of like the standard NC State way of playing. Like they've always kind of been, relatively speaking, guard dominant in that manner. I completely agree. Where I was frankly just a bit surprised to see them not try and force the issue down low in the way. And I thought Camille struggled. I thought there was some shots that she just simply normally makes that weren't going in.
Yeah, 4 of 16, 5 fouls.
Yeah. yeah, so I think it was a struggle, but I also don't think the system or the game plan was exactly doing her any favors. Because a lot of those are
No,
like kind of trying to feast off scraps. We're getting offensive rebounds and trying to put the ball back up and things of that nature.
and that's to her point. Like a couple of those, you know, it was just 4, but like at least 2 of those was her battling against like 2-3 people in the paint and getting the offensive rebound and going back up and going back up and going back up. So she battled. It's just like you said, yeah, like get her some post touches, get her in the paint, like get her against one of these younger players and let her go to work. Make it easier for her. So I don't know why that. I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess we'll never know because I'm not going in there.
Goodness. Can I ask you about something in particular?
Oh no.
How is the London Jones experience?
It's chaotic.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's weird because I'm just like, Juju hated you like 8 months ago.
Yeah.
Like real hated you. But like now she's on the bench like flexing when you do stuff. I'm like,
I love rivalry.
It takes a second to, but when she hit that first 3, I was like, oh, okay. And then she hit another 3 and I was like, so is she like, are we, this is
the game plan? Like this is what we're rolling with,
This is the thing, yeah. So, but she's going to be the vet. She's going to be the vet that they need. And yeah, I didn't think I'd be saying that. But yeah, London Jones is going to be the vet that they need. And I trust it. Like she's got big game experience. She's been, she kind of had that breakout year, her freshman year.
Yeah, she had moments at UCLA over her time.
Yeah, but like it's like she was able to fly under the radar kind of freshman year, and so it's like when she does something, it's like, oh wow, good for her. Now it's kind of like, all right, you got some expectations on you. Yeah, come on, big dog, what's up? Yeah. So this is her year. Yeah. So shout out to her.
And stepped up, obviously, with Dunn getting in foul trouble, stepped up in a lot of ways. Just having another person there to contribute offensively with like legitimate scoring next to Jazzy made the difference in a whole lot of ways in this one, especially in the first half when Jazzy wasn't going yet. It was really London was the one that was going, and then Jazzy kind of was the one that supplemented the rest of scoring in the second half in a lot of ways. Man, yeah, I mean, the Jazzy Davidson experience. I mean, we're here. That last play, what are we giving Lindsay G the props for the clipboard on the last play?
I was distracted by Juju bench mob. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, I'll tell you right now, based on what we heard in overtime, it wasn't Juju drawing the play up. So I can everything we heard from Team Juju at Overtime Select over the summer, she was not drawing the clipboard.
Because I was locked in on defensive play. I was like, oh yeah, heck yeah, that's good defense. Turn that up. Then the 2 missed free throws, I was like, oh heck no, turn that down. I don't like that. So yeah, the last play was kind of a blur. But yeah, no, they like there was a poise though. I will say that, like with all the during the timeouts and stuff, like Lindsay said this in the presser, like nobody's heads were down, but like nobody looked rattled. Like, oh my gosh, we got a last shot. What do I do? Like it was kind of like, all right, we good, we got this. And I guess it's like after you come back from double digits, like last shot is that ain't nothing. That's cake.
Yeah, it's just one more, It's just
what's up?
Yeah,
no, like the momentum's on our side. So yeah, they look good. The USC looks better than I thought. So shout out to them.
Yeah, no, I left impressed. And again, I think the biggest thing to me is in terms of like the vibes of like Jazzy Davidson leading this team right now compared to like when thinking back to like Juju leading in the freshman year, like there was kind of an immediate like assertion in a lot of ways where Juju was just like, like I'm here, like this is me, and I don't like, it's a different type of energy I think from Jazzy. Like it's not the same, and I think like a lot of when I say like it's not the same is that's what I'm thinking is almost more the vibes of it. However, she stepped up right in the same moment that you were asking Juju Watkins to step up the last couple of years. And
it's kind of like we're gonna
take that lightly.
Juju is like that Big Bird meme where you kick in the door and bust in the house. And hers is kind of like, all right, we'll revisit later. And then like you get back to later and it's like, oh shoot. Because when I saw she had 21, I was like, I watched the whole game win. God dang.
Yeah. No, that third quarter was
so she might quietly kill you.
Yeah, it's different. It's
I'm gonna call her carbon monoxide. Jazzy Davidson's new
Jesus
nickname is carbon monoxide.
Oh,
She
sure.
can silently kill you.
We'll see if that one sticks or not.
Oh yeah, let me go test it out real quick.
We're gonna see if that.
What is that? CO2? I'm gonna call her CO2.
Okay, but that one's a little bit better. I'll give you. Okay, CO2 is a little bit better.
CO2.
If only her number was that. Like that would be.
Darn. Yeah, I gotta figure out a way to.
Win 9.
What's a noxious fume with her number?
9 in it.
Somebody give me a periodic table of elements.
Well, looking ahead a little bit for these two teams. I know what game is next for USC, and that is against this team right here, South Carolina, where you can go get this pullover from our friends at Home Field, the Carolina. Does this change anything about your expectation for that game?
Nope. Mm-hmm. Nope. Mm-hmm. Cock's always up. Turn us up.
That's kind of what I figured. Look, I certainly think that this is to a degree an rival game for Jazzy Davidson, but buddy, if we get a pop-off game in that one, we're leveling up to a different degree than expected very, very quickly.
I feel like, bring the energy anyway, right? Because we wanted obviously to see Juju versus Malaysia. We're not going to see that, but it's just like, y'all can still make it fun. There's still some names in there. There's still some talent. This could still be a thing. Like, at least set the table, and then we run it back next year. So, bring the noise and let's scrap it out.
I'm incredibly excited for that game. We will absolutely be live after that one. I can promise you that. Looking ahead also, USC, they're not shying away. Obviously, you make this schedule in a lot of ways, expecting Juju Watkins is available, but you have NC State here. You have South Carolina next week. You go play at Notre Dame November 21st, and then you have UConn in December. And that's all before getting into Big Ten play, which is not a shabby conference by any means.
No. And that's the thing. Like they baptizing her by fire. So by the time March comes around, we might see some heroics that rival Juju's freshman year, because we saw her take them through that to that tournament conference championship. That was
tournament. Yeah, I was there in person for that. That was a sight, to say the least. Like, it was insane.
Yeah. So so shout out to, like, I know the plan was having her, but it's just like this works out again, blessing in disguise, because she gonna be battle tested come conference time and then come conference tournament time. So
yeah, and the idea of I also like when you're thinking about like the big picture here, like long term, like just in general. I thought today was really encouraging for, in my head, how I imagine her playing alongside Juju as well. Like with the defense, she was phenomenal defensively tonight. And then you add Sanaya Hall into that, which is, another player we've gotten to see plenty at overtimes. Like this is gonna be crazy. Like genuinely insane. And then I felt a lot better today. Again, seeing her be able to play off another scorer at times.
Yes,
where that's gonna be Juju,
big. Yeah, because Sanaya does the same thing. Like watching her in overtime, like she's really. There were a couple of games where she's like, I'm not going to take over until I absolutely have to. So now I'm passing. Now you see these screens, and she's rebounding. So she, like, Sanaya does a lot of the little things, and they are absolutely going to need her up front next year. So I wish she could graduate early, man. Take some accelerated classes. Like,
man, I wish.
They need you now. So like, Jazzy and Sanaya hoops would be cinema. Yeah. But, we'll just have to wait till next year. And I'm excited for that.
It's gonna be so much fun. I'm incredibly excited. Looking at NC State, obviously you had 2 games off the jump that were legit challenges with Tennessee and USC. Still, just looking from a non-con perspective, you have TCU at home, and they will come play here in Norman for the ACC SEC challenge on December 3rd.
That doesn't sound right. ACC SEC challenge in Norman. Please get away from me.
Come to Norman, Oklahoma, baby. We got a Chili's. Are you worried
at all?
In
this Chili's tonight.
Are you look? We'll see what happens tomorrow night. I might be turning that Chili's up. But are you worried about NC State at all from this game? Like, does that are you change your expectations in any way?
No, because it honestly it is kind of like the last couple of years. It's like it depends on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's gonna show up tonight? Is it going to be the team we saw against Tennessee, or is it going to be what we saw today? If they decide it's Tennessee and like remain, foot on the gas from start to finish, then like we've seen what happens. But it's like if they start doing that thing again where they're like, and they start going off a cliff.
Yeah,
because that does kind of happen a lot with them. Actually, that seems to be like their thing. We get kind of hot, and then we cool off a bit, and then we get back hot. So as long as they get back hot in late February, March, they'll be all right.
That'll play. Any closing thoughts from Allied Tip-Off, Shaunie?
Cock's always up.
Yeah, there we go. Always up.
We'll be back.
We'll be back.
Allied Tip-Off.
We're here. There's a couple of stacked years on the way, and we'll have boots on the ground there. In the immediacy,
no matter what.
Tomorrow night, you ready for this, Shaunie? A 10:30 Eastern time tip-off. UCLA and Oklahoma in Sacramento. I will be live after it one way or another.
Okay, because I will be there no matter what.
I think that is okay. That is okay.
There might be a reaction piece on Tuesday.
Sure. I will be here tomorrow night. Get ready for some no cat space after dark tomorrow. So I will be here. I don't know if anyone's joining me, but I'll be here, and I hope you join as well. But until then, go check out our friends at Home Field. Make sure you subscribe here so you don't miss out on anything, both on the YouTube and NoCatSpaceWBB.com, all of our print and podcast content. And before Shaunie gets kicked out of Allied Tip-Off or whatever the hell is going on over there.
Well, no, everybody's like just cleaning up and going and stuff, and then my phone's about to die, so like I gotta go anyway.
Okay. Well, bye everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.